Hey, Facebook friends, this is John Natale, and I wanted to talk to you this afternoon about prophetic faithfulness and what that really means and how it relates to our life. And what's really interesting is the word that we have released this month regarding the month of facilitation. And we talked about Joseph coming up out of the dungeon and getting into that place where he interprets a dream. Pharaoh calls him out, and he takes a huge risk in releasing the interpretation. And we know that one individual lost his life, and another individual that was in that prison with Joseph was able to gain his life back. And the crazy thing about it is that he interprets dreams, not just in the prison cell, but he interprets a dream above his situation. So it's really interesting how the Lord shows us two scenarios: releasing an interpretation while you're in duress or while you're in a situation where it's hardship, and holding on to a promise of God and holding on to your destiny and your future, and also releasing interpretation for a dream when you're above your situation and it doesn't seem so dark and gloomy. But it's very interesting because we see an individual where he is focused very, very significantly on his God, and he's very, very confident in what he's hearing, what he's seeing, what he's believing, and ultimately we see how an interpretation brings him into a place of great power and great significant identity of who he is in God, and second in command of Egypt. So that's really, really cool. But today I wanted to just share with you about prophetic faithfulness and how that pertains to our life, and regarding the future and also regarding the past. Now today, while I was driving around doing my morning shift, I was listening to this a commentary on the radio about time machines, and it was actually on a Christian radio. And the question was, if you had an opportunity to, either increase time or go back in time, go ahead in the future or go, in the past, what would you rather do? And majority of every individual said that they would rather go back to the past to change things. And I didn't put a call in, and I didn't put in, what I believed, obviously, because we're so, concerned and interested in the future, being a prophetic voice. But it was kind of interesting to hear this because so many people wanted to go back to the past and fix things. Because, either show more love to somebody or warn somebody of something, before it came, and it was very interesting to hear all this stuff. But there wasn't anybody that wanted to go into not that I heard of, that wanted to go into the future. It's crazy how we're always concerned with the past. You see, the enemy loves the past, and the Lord loves your future, and we need to be more focused on our future than on our past. And that to me was quite intriguing to hear that people were actually, I think they're more concerned or scared of what the future holds because they don't have the blueprints. And that's the one thing I just wanted to share with you today regarding Joseph and his prophetic faithfulness. See, this was a man that went through incredible hardship, just like many of us go through. Incredible hardship, waiting for God to intervene on our behalf and break through to get us into that place of greatness and destiny, and just to get out of the stuff and get out of the mess and the turmoil and the discouragement of present scenarios that are also connected from the past. Because decisions that we make presently today, a lot of the times are based on what happened in the past. And Joseph was not a person that was fixing his future based on his past. All right. What I mean by that is his past hardships weren't dictating his future. What was dictating his future from the past was the fact that the Lord had spoken into his spirit, spoken through a dream about just the significance of his destiny. And that's what he held on to. And that's the significant part about that whole story, is that he focuses on God and the promise that's in his heart that he believes and is completely convinced that God has for him. And then ultimately we see how his gift makes room for him and he moves out and up, or up and out rather, to see the promises of God come to fruition in his life, but it didn't come without a risk. And he took that risk, and God did some crazy things. So prophetic faithfulness is holding on to what God has spoken to you in your life, because it's out there. It's ahead of you. It's not behind you. It's in your future. And believing that God has an amazing plan for your life. So today, church, very simple little nugget. Hold on to the promises of God in your life. Hold on to the things that God has spoken to you regarding your future and your destiny and your identity in Christ. That God has called you great and God has called you awesome. You're an awesome, awesome creation before his eyes. He loves you so much and has amazing, wonderful plans for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. So as Joseph comes out of that dungeon and comes out of that prison and goes up and now operates and walks into a supernatural destiny, this month, this February month, you too will also experience great things as well. Just hold on to it. Never give up. Believe that God has amazing promises for you, and you're going to see some amazing things take place. The key is holding on, never giving up, being prophetically faithful in the very thing that God has placed inside your heart. God bless you. Reach out to us, johnnatale.wordpress.com, Facebook. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what God's doing in your life. We want to hear what God is speaking to you, and however we can help facilitate the promises of God in your life, and how we can pray for you and about your destiny. That's what we love to do, is seeing God move mightily upon your behalf and your family. So reach out to us. Have a supernatural Thursday, supernatural Friday, and a supernatural weekend ahead.